morning, you guys. When Bob's.
Yes, welcome to What the Hex.
Hello.
And What the Peter is here.
What the Peter came in last minute.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's good. We don't need any rehearsals or green rooms or nothing. It's just Peter, show up whenever you want.
I invaded. Yes.
And
welcome, guys.
Look who it is.
Episode
Go ahead,
number
DJ
12. Yes, let
Yes.
me just say hi. We got Peter in here, Papa Boner, and of course the man of the hour, our friend FuruFinance from the FuruFinance channel. Welcome to the show. Let me just say hi real quick to the chat. Oh boy, we got a new first. SE from the UK made it, and DJ Dougie, who did the intro today, he was second. That's nice. We get Nom in here, Red Squirrel. I see Crispy in the chat. Finbear is here. Hex on Air. Ryan, Tiny Weirdo. Oh man, that's a live chat. Hex on
Don't forget Chad Donnerschwanz.
I purposefully kind of missed out on that one. Nickelback Legai. I think Bob Legai is playing.
Are you
with us,
censoring
probably.
people, DJ? Really? This is where we came. Where we came to.
Nickelback guy.
This is where we
What
are.
the hell?
I think he's playing with us. Gets
You know
Red
what?
Squirrel in the house. Yes.
Speaking of Bob Legai is the bellwether of things going super well. If Bob can be happy, then we know that the mainnet is definitely ready to go, because he's very critical of every little dot and dash and T being crossed and I being dotted, but not happy until it's perfect.
Oh yes, I mean we get to that later in the show, but last night I was live on Twitch, and in the middle of my show somebody came in and said, yo, Twitter is lit right now. I'm like, whoa, what's happening? And there were announcement of like a stable version, I think, of Pususto chain about to
The hexologist FOMO. Yeah.
Exologist was Oh, and I got
I
another.
believe the real question is when Pasusu.
Exactly. Web Pasusu.
And who is this that we have over here with us over here, who has such a nice has a nice jacket on. He's got the mahogany background. He's even got a World Book Encyclopedia collection behind him that I think that he's actually perused from the T's to the S's.
Papa, I think we should move him to DJ Cryptomatics level like this. or what?
What?
Stop it, Cryptomatic.
You're very bad at this. There we go. Now we can see him. And also he's got exceptional he got great posture. I can see he's nice and straight. He's exactly right there. I slouch, but he's making up for my slouching by being right there. And you couldn't wear a tie for the show? You're slumming it for us here? You can't be a mensch with the tie? What the fuck is going on?
Lugging it
you?
out in the morning. That's what's going on.
No, I mean, he's copying Cryptomatic, can't you see?
FuruFinance, tell us a little bit about yourself. How you told me you grew up on watching the Wake Up HEX show.
I grew up
Papa
on
B
it.
will be delighted to hear that story. Like, how long are you in HEX, and how was your entry to the community, and how are you liking it so far?
Okay, so I guess it started when I got into crypto. So like it started with XRP. I I think XRP is like the best onboarding.
Guilty.
No, they've onboarded a lot of people to crypto, and that's a good thing.
Too.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So
it was my first crypto as well.
Yeah,
it was my first being underwater for 3 years as well.
Yeah,
well, there'd be we wouldn't be here if not for XRP, right? So we're grateful.
in a way, yes.
Yeah, so that was and then I started digging a little deeper as the last bull market came, and so I could go through what I was in. I was in Bitcoin, and then I went into Celsius, and then Veracity. They had like a not your keys, not your coin. They had a not your keys like staking feature. Actually did pretty well in that. And I saw Hex. So I saw Hex and I saw Celsius. You know, they're both like the yield coins. So I'm like, which one should I pick? And it's like Mashinsky's on television, right? And he's on all the channels.
Yeah.
And Richard Hart, everyone's saying he's a scammer. So obviously you go with Mashinsky, right?
That's the manip.
Hey, FuruFinance, before we continue, can I just say that your CCD Super 8 camera is really shitty, and perhaps you should plug in a time-based.
Says the one who fell off the screen.
Who's now frozen.
What were you saying, Papa B?
Shut up. At least I can freeze in digital, okay? Look at him with the analog tape. Fucking okay. Anyway, continue,
like
please.
From that movie
ID4
where the aliens captured the TV signal. That's So you were a Celsius shitcoin connoisseur at first, you said.
Yeah, well, he had the AMAs every Friday, Mashinsky, and I really learned a lot from them. So that was I guess you could say I'm grateful for that. Okay. And then I went to Veracity. I'm like, they're paying better yield. The coin does better. It did really well actually, and the first time I saw Richard Hart was on Kitco with David Lin, and that was a really good interview. He looked amazing in that Burberry jacket and, you know, all the watches, and he does. And he's hard not to listen to. And he was saying a lot of things that a lot of people don't say. And I think just a lot of people don't really know, even like people in the space don't really know a lot about crypto. They kind of just get caught up in the whole tech, utility thing that everyone else gets caught up in, and it's kind of just like everybody not knowing, and it's like just like a circle jerk of people not knowing and what really makes crypto go up and things like that. And it's always something that it was like a little bit of a gray area in my mind, but I didn't think there was much else to know. And then, you know, you have this guy that's really spitting it out like it is and answering a lot of things that you were wondering. One of the most profound was the Hart's Law. And I'm proud to have done a video with a whiteboard explanation of that to put it into visuals. But that was really cool because that was the biggest thing everyone was saying was that it's really manipulated. You had this guy at the top just moving them all together. I'm like, wow, he knows what he's talking about. So yeah, that was the first time I saw him, and he also.
But it's actually interesting you say that the watches and the Burberry. So is it fair to say that actually caught a little bit your eye, sort of that you said, "Oh, I need to look at this guy," like that played a part, right, to the apparel, which is interesting because hardly anyone ever said this so far.
Yeah, I want to say that this is the first time that I think that somebody of quality was drawn like a moth to the outrageous flame that Richard
like in
was
a positive way.
Yeah, congratulations to
Thank
us.
You. I'm a big fan of the outrage marketing. I liked it. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I agree. I'm
came
now
to the right
sad that Richard is humble and playing this Jack Leving thing. And no, I liked him more on the outrage marketing.
Get out of here, Peter. You badmouthed him the whole time.
You never said this, Peter.
Yeah, Peter, you're like all flip-flopping. Now you're outraging me.
We like him in the Hex
See,
t-shirt.
it works.
Yes, it does. You're right. It worked.
Hex
Okay,
t-shirt
so-
and underpants. That's my. That's what I
Yes.
prefer.
So you came to this this dude
continue.
and you got into it, and now what? What else you got for us?
Oh, so yeah, so I didn't just go right in. He said the top was in. He said the top was in, and I'm like thinking the top's not in. And I remember the way he said it was also made a very big impact because he has all these rings on, and he's like, and then you got to get punched in the nose, you know. I'm like, it just really pierces through everything, and even if there's no explanation behind it, you just have that feeling like he's right. But I had a lot of gains, so I took some USDC. I sold it for USDC. And I put it in the Cell wallet, right? I'm like thinking, now let me just leave it in the Cell wallet so I could earn that 8% yield, right? We get 8% on our stable coins. That's like outperforming the S&P 500 in crypto. And this guy's totally legit and everything like that. So as that was happening, I learned more and more by watching his streams, and I saw that Hex was decorrelating. So I'm thinking, okay, the bear market's over. The bear market's in, but at the same time, Hex is going to keep going up because it doesn't care about Bitcoin. So I took my money out of the Celsius wallet and I bought Hex, and then Hex was underperforming everything on the second top. And I was not so happy because I was staked. I was thinking, hey, whatever, I'm going to get a lot more yield in Hex and the price is going to go up more. And interestingly enough, it turned out to work out very, very well because even though I lost, I had some losses in terms of buying Hex instead of holding stables, but it would have all been tied up in Celsius right now, and I would have been those Aaron Bennett videos, those Aaron Bennett Celsius updates, whatever. So now I got locked in at the earlier T-share rate, and
No, don't
Peter,
mind me. Don't mind me. Just
shut up.
Shut up, Peter.
Peter.
He's trying to make a point here. How we are saving people from things like Celsius, and he's the living example of that.
Yes,
yeah.
He gets
yes,
to
you
walk
are
the-
FuruFinance.
walk
Yes,
the
you are.
Peter's
planet and
making
tell the
a
story.
schedule for phone sex later with Sandy Beach. So please don't mind him, FuruFinance. Please
Video
continue.
call. Video call, Papa B. Okay.
Video.
Hello,
okay,
everyone.
Let's send you this. Okay.
Anyway, please continue. So wait, hold on a second. So you had when things went down with Celsius, did you heed all the warnings from Richard, all the warnings from the community saying, God damn it, not your keys, not your crypto? Did you, or did you have some exposure even when that happened?
No, and part of the reason why I also bought it is because of that sound bit. If you have money in Celsius, pull it. It's like when anyone else says it, you think, okay, he's probably not, but it's just something about the way
funny.
he says it. The way he says it just seems so, I don't know. He's very gifted in terms of the way he could deliver, like in a very piercing way. So I did, and I bought Hex. So that's really what happened. Yeah, that's what happened.
That's a
Very
great
cool.
story. But looking back, you said the AMA with Mashinsky's, those were great things. Knowing what you know now, that this guy possibly, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but the story's out there that this has been planned all along. Is that still, do you see that differently now, looking back from what he was saying on these AMAs, or is that still all legit crypto stuff?
Well, I don't know. You mean it was planned all along, like he was just going to take everyone's money?
Yep.
I don't think that's, I don't know. Maybe I don't know, but I was thinking, my thought was that he just got caught up in the euphoria and thought that he had an edge and just did risky stuff. And
Okay.
I don't know. It could be he had some what do you call it? Cynical intentions, where he's just like, I'm just going to mess everyone over like a Bernie Madoff. I don't know. it's interesting, but he definitely is a very smart guy. I mean, to pull that off, you got to be smart. So,
or do you?
No, he had some good info, but it was JV in comparison to the Richard Hart AMAs. I mean, that's not even a question. So,
yeah, okay, and then you came into the community as well and did your research on what's going on in Hex, right? And how did you make the decision or come to the point that you want to start your own channel and become a influencer in the space?
Not an influencer. He's
a fan.
He's a fan. He's a fan of investment vehicle, whatever.
Commentator.
Commentator.
Yes,
that's very nice.
A sports commentator.
Yeah. Yes. How did that happen? So it's interesting. So I started out in school. I did accounting, right? That was my major, and then I'm like, after I graduated, I was never so passionate about it. So I wanted to go back for medicine. So I was in pre-med. So I did bio 1, I did chem 1, chem 2, orgo, and it was a lot of work. And it was not something that as soon as like crypto started getting in, I was a lot less interested in health and stuff like that, and more interested in crypto. So I was able to get a nice job doing medical research, clinical trials, because I was doing that, as my field experience. But yeah, so but there was always that thought that wasn't my future, because I wasn't going to medical school, and it's not as good of a profession. I mean, there is upside, but not the way that you have upside in like finance or accounting, which I could have went into.
But it would make your parents so very happy. Why didn't you go into the medicals?
The son was supposed to become a doctor.
Yes. No, it's a very competitive field, and you really gotta not only, I think, work really hard, but like you have to be driven by a passion, like in the way that you see Richard Hart's driven by his passion for crypto. You have to kind of have that same thing for medicine, because it's the hardest courses and it's a lot of work. So I wasn't really feeling that. And I figured it would be another 10 years before I make any money. And I'm thinking, I think crypto's the future. So there's a big opportunity to make a lot more money a lot faster. So
Peter, no more love like things popping up from you. I can tell that it was you that put that on. Just take it. Go, you and Sandy Beach, go get a room, and you don't have to see this shit.
Everyone is blessing me. Okay, like
everyone's blessing me. Let's put these up.
People saw that I sneezed.
Get out of your system. We have a guest of quality here. Quality, Peter.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
a college medical student dropout. That's
I must ask you, Peter, what the hex?
What the hex? Exactly my thoughts, because we have a great guest here, and people in the chat are watching me sneeze. Why would they do that?
Thank you, Nom Nom. Well said. Well said.
But it is actually competitive. That's a very interesting point you make when you're going for something like this. I remember myself, when I studied law in Germany, and I really tried hard for 2-3 years, and then discovered that this wasn't going to be my future. And then I looked at the pure numbers and said, okay, 18,000 people, which is Germany, is a lot smaller, are starting legal studies every year. And you only have a chance of landing a moderate decent job. That's maybe only 5% of those people. And then like 18,000, we don't need this many lawyers every year and judges. So it's super competitive. And you're right, you have to be like really passionate about it to make it. Otherwise you'll just land like an office job in a legal department, which is not what you spent 8 years studying for. Like
FuruFinance, you completed some pre-med courses, correct?
Yeah.
I got this constant pain in my neck. His name is Peter. Can you please help me with it?
Can you save us?
I'd have to take a look.
Okay. Is there something that can cure me in one of those books? Can you prove that those books are real? Can you grab them from the shelf, please?
It's a green screen.
Damn it!
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Yes!
that's
Wow.
great green screen, by the way.
Nice green screen.
Wow,
It's
that's
part
a
of
3D. It's a 3D
Nice.
green screen.
AI generated green screen.
I didn't know that they made
Awesome.
books anymore. That's cool.
But you said you watched the Wake Up Hacks with Wales Only and us here, and you also heard Papa B shouting at people in the Telegram voice chat. Is that right? Initially, when you
Yes,
came in?
yes. So like there was the Telegram voice chat. It was streaming on YouTube. So I used to listen to it on my lunch breaks and in the mornings and all those things. And obviously Papa B is a frequent participant, and everyone listens when he's in there. And someone called up and said, I have my MetaMask on my phone. And, and I'm just listening, and I don't have to explain what happened after, but I just told myself, thankfully, I didn't call up and say the same thing, because it could have just as easily happened.
You had a MetaMask on
Did
your
you get
phone?
yourself- Yeah, you had a hardware wallet, right? You decided that was a thing for you, and you jumped off and you did your migration and everything, correct?
Absolutely. After that, it was yes.
Yes.
Do you know
more
how many
McDonald's
people are
Wi-Fi.
guys, because you guys is the trend is starting to pick up again, and the amount of people coming to me in DMs saying I'm really embarrassed that I didn't heed any of your warnings, but I only kept it on MetaMask and I'm fucked. Do you know that amount of people that are coming to me sheepishly admitting this to be happening this close to mainnet launch is picking up again, and there's no goddamn reason that it should be this way. So spread the word, please. Ledger or Trezor, get your ass off of them. We have the videos. We have the ability to support you. I don't want to hear this anymore from our community. We can't lose anyone else. Thank you. Sorry. Please continue.
With what my story? I guess.
Yeah, you watched the Wake Up Hex.
I watched
you suffered us on the Wake Up Hex show. Yes.
No, it was off the charts. I listened to it every morning with you and everyone here, and Wales Only was there, and there was Hex Asian guys.
Right?
Kinetics was there sometimes. I don't think he was there like he was like earlier, but he was.
Hey, unfuck your shit, bro.
So you saw the cusp of the Silver Age leading into the Golden Age of the Wake Up Hex show. Good to see.
We're still leading into it. The Golden Age is
still to come. Yes,
still to come. So
the Golden Age is when we all
I can do
retire.
this. Then you said I can do this much better, and then you started your own channel, right?
Well, not much better. Which
is now 4,000 subs. So you're moving places.
Yeah. I mean, it's so yeah, that happened because I lost my job. Something happened there. I'll just say. So I was getting the unemployment.
My name is Bob, and I lost my job.
I'll tell you, I was getting the unemployment money, and I'm like, okay, I got this time. I have this money. Let me go and try. You know, I'm always thinking about Hex. I'm always watching the Hex content. I'm always, I have a lot of things on my mind. Why don't I just, take it public? And I was doing that, and it got some viewership, and it was really fun. It was a lot of work, but it is a lot of work, but it's really fun. And like during that, I was looking for like a job in finance. So I went into one of those big firms, try and get a portfolio management, the whole thing. And the interview went very, very well. And my parents were saying, you got to do this. This is a real job. You're going to be talking to quality people. I never actually said the story, but they said you're going to be talking to quality people. You're going to be crypto's going to go up anyway if you think it is. Like, you want to get in this. And I kept saying no, like this is I like what I'm doing, and maybe I can make it profitable and things like that. And they're still saying that, and I'm still doing this. So it's been, I've never worked this hard in my life for so little money, but at the same time been so happy. And that's the way to really put it. I mean,
that is great.
This is really the place to be, and I want to continue doing this, and hopefully I won't have to, get a job. And I just see these people like talking to me like about their job, and they're like, I did all this work, and I asked for a raise, and they said no, and all those things. And I was remembering, I remembered I was that same person, and I'm like, I don't want to be that same person again. So why not, I have something going and just stick with it. And, and we're part of something, something a lot bigger than myself also, which is really amazing. And I think the traction it got is not really because of me. It's because of, Richard and like what we're a part of, all of it. And it's just really awesome. And the future's bright. That's what I'm going to say. That's my story.
Can I break in for a second? The approval of the parents thing, let me just address you here for just a moment here. There was an interesting discussion. There was an interview with Paul Simon, and he was reflecting on the day when his father finally said, "Yeah, you know what? This music thing you got going on, you did very well. So congratulations. I think it was the right move to make." You know how long it took his father to come around to say that to him? 40 years.
Wow.
40 years. And we're talking way after, the rise of Simon and Garfunkel. And I think it was like after the Hearts and Bones type of thing. His father finally says, "Hey, and I used to call you Meshuggah to play the rock and roll music and this, whatever." It was
That's
good.
Crazy.
Congratulations.
Like he's the biggest guys now in American music, like concert in Central Park, and everybody knows.
Oh, they're inducted into the Hall of Fame for rock and roll. Come on. I mean, it's Paul Simon, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's what I tell my parents. I say, it's FuruFinance, for God's sake. Do you know who I am?
Exactly. To you. And you got to poke him in the chest when you say that. To you, no.
Yeah.
That's a great story. So, if Hex is going to do what we all think it does and wish and hope for, then I think you're definitely on the right path, and that's an amazing story. How did you come up with that name though, FuruFinance? That's like one of my final questions on your Vita, if you will, because we spoke about this briefly on Monday when I was on your show, that I think Wales Only he coined that phrase, right? The Furu, the fake gurus. Why did you choose that name for your brand?
Well,
for the ring of it.
So I heard it being said in Hex, shows and streams. I did not know that it was actually coined by Wales Only. So I thought it was just a saying, and people happen to say it more in Hex. So first of all, shout out to Wales Only for making my career here. I couldn't have done it without him, and
clearly working the name.
Yeah, but it was interesting because first of all, it sounds really nice. Yes. It's a nice word. Yeah. So, and like also everyone had like a Hex name in their thing, like Hex. And there were just a lot of names everyone had, and there was one word that nobody had. So I'm like, let me make this mine. A little bit of irony in there. I don't know. I liked it. It sounded good with the finance. So
the FF is really cool too.
Yeah, that works. FuruFinance. All right. Well, so to transition, I think we need a joke.
Why is the cow wearing a bell? Because the horns weren't working.
You see, Papa B, that's Finland. The Finnish.
That's what they call them.
Very specific humor.
You say Finnish already.
Here's another Finnish joke. Like last week on Tuesday, there was World Happiness Day. And the people from Finland allegedly are the happiest mother truckers on this planet. It's the happiest people is Finland. So
DJ, there is one more kind of Kia, Slovakia.
Slovakia. Or is it not your Kia, not your coins?
Not your coin. Oh man,
Oh,
please
man.
help us.
So then again, when I was on your show, Furu, because I've watched a couple of your episodes, and you see the hair and the shirt, and you think, oh, is this a nice guy, and then and then I went up there, and he was like, hey, how are you? I was watching the Wake Up Hacks, and I thought, I felt really comfortable, and then he was massaging the name Cryptomatic album in stores right now, and I felt really, really comfortable there. But he is a straight shooter. And then in the middle of the show, he goes like, "So Cryptomatic, when mainnet?" And I was like, "Whoa!"
Like right?
I gotta give the people what they want, okay?
And I asked before, is there anything you want me to prepare on? Was there any topic we're talking about? No, we just
prepare
wing
when
it.
mainnet.
When mainnet. We just wing it. And I was like, okay, we wing it. That's our specialty here on the show. We've been winging it for 2 years now. But let's go around the room, guys. With everything that's going on. Also, block update on my block explorer story, the V3. I can now see Hex, which I couldn't see on Monday, Tuesday in my wallet. So I'm not the tech guy here. I'm just here for the sandwiches. But I think something in the background must still be loading up. And how does this work? Did they take like an empty Ethereum chain and loaded all their smart contracts, and then slowly within time they are loading now 10 years of Ethereum
maybe
history?
a server, a little black magic, little stuff happening with wires and circuits. DJ Cryptomatic, it's called a synchronization. It happens amongst all the nodes. Once they're all done, all the tokens will show up.
Even my dragon chain.
No, fuck your dragon chain. That's out. But everything else
want
will
the P
appear.
dragon chain.
No.
That one's dragon.
I can see Hedron now. I can see Hex, which is amazing because I didn't see that before. It's
What
still
else
not
do
the
you need?
right balance.
What else do you need exactly? What else is
pretty
there?
much. Dragon chain.
Fuck
So
you.
I think they're still loading all like 10 years of Ethereum history. So it wasn't.
There's one
really
guy
like
with a computer, and he's like DRAG. Oh damn it! Delete. DRAGONCHAIN. One more token is loaded. Enter.
Is
It
that the
takes
guy
time.
at the call center?
Yes.
Oh, don't want to do the ethnic jokes, but right.
Wait a minute. What? Okay.
But when we do the live fork, we can't be having all this, right?
Yes, we
Peter,
will. The resynchronization when the mainnet comes out, it will have to be done again.
Probably, yes.
I thought it's just like a
live. There is a snap, and half the people on the earth die. No, that's a great question. What is the difference between a test net synchronization, go live, and here's the forking moment? I think they both involve a block height of some kind, don't they? But in the case of a fork, Richard described it like, if Bob Lagai is in the audience, I know that he knows that. I'm sorry, whatever Bob Lagai is.
Nickelback is
Nickelback Lagai would probably know that when he says, okay, we're arriving at a block height and the block height is established for the fork, or we're synchronizing off of a block that we took in January, a snapshot that we took in January. Is there a difference? Is there a difference? Bob, can you please tell us? Is there a difference?
What do you mean?
We'd love to know. Technically, what's the difference? Do we have to go through a whole resynchronization based on a forward-looking block that Richard establishes for the fork, or are we going to go like, okay, the block height's established, the snapshot's been taken. We've been led to understand that there is no snapshot per se.
Yeah,
the snapshot is the fork.
yes, with all the history and everything and all the tokens and the world's largest airdrop should be there like this. So this is just loading a test environment, pretty much a sandbox, like where
I'll allow it.
Things are constantly being updated day by day to then play around with it. Same as Bullish was saying last night on stream, that the Pulse X still doesn't have all the limit order functionality and all of this stuff. So with all that being said, what is your guys's prediction on when Pesusso when mainnet really? So FuruFinance, today we're going to flip the script. We're asking you now, what do you think?
I'm going to say 2 more months, but really 2 more months.
Mid-May.
So
hey, you know what I
May.
just know? I can make you look like a hand puppet. Now, go tell us, how many months will it take from now on? Go ahead.
2 more months.
You didn't see my lips move at all. Nice. Yeah, 2 more months is a long time. I thought we were at 2 more weeks. What the fuck happened there? Why 2 more months? Qualify your decision to go for the months rather than the weeks.
I'm gonna say because it's he said the last warning, right? And I thought that means okay, like days, but then there was a notice that there were some functionalities that weren't there, so I figured that might take some time. But he also said that he might launch it without a lot of things in a stream like a year ago. So I figured if he would say, if that would be the case, he would say we're going to launch without, the limit orders or something like that. So I'm going to say 2 months. And also, isn't it healthy, right? It's healthy. It's healthy for the markets, for the people that sell the news to get out, sell the V3 news to get out, and let the new people come in. I don't know.
Wait, what was I going to say about one of those functionalities and deciding to go? Anyway, talk amongst yourselves. My processing skills are low, and I'll come back to you later.
Or we will get hyped for mid-May, and then we don't launch.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. What about the license that's coming due for Uniswap V3?
It's already due.
No.
Or
it's April 4th or April 5th or something like that. Yeah.
No, it should be.
It's coming up, man.
Right?
It's coming up. I mean, if you do calendar days from their launch, yes, it says less than 2 years. However, there's some other small print that said that it was like some day in early April that it comes due.
1st April.
1st April.
Open source protocol for instance of version 3 will become completely free to fork. Blah, 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 blah. The current business source license expires on April 1st.
So there you have it. 2 more days.
Maybe that's why Pulse X UI isn't complete. He's just waiting.
Plug in V3. He did say that V2 is good enough, so shut up, everyone.
Yeah, because this functionality was tested plentiful apparently during the V2 times.
I hope so. That would be cool.
I mean, I was watching RG3 and Famous last night, and they were like 2 more days. Like they were really bullish and ready to go. And I mean, if it's 2 days, he better launches before Sunday, because April 1st, the April Fool's jokes would be off the chain if it's not launched by then. But I'm also midish May. Papa B, what do you think?
Well, I think we got to answer a question from Somi.
Yes.
Who's asking about if you had hello, Peter, you can bring up the little lovey things, but you can't bring up this. Okay. So Somi says
I did bring it up, but DJ
And
clicked on.
I also wanted to bring it up, so I brought it down.
Things up. Thank you. All right.
That's the problem when having two captains.
It would be too easy
also
that
sometimes
way,
it's hopeful.
okay?
It's positive.
You guys are both, both.
We need to maintain
the
level of chaos we still have here, okay?
You're right. I keep forgetting. Okay, so the question is, if you have a bad interaction with a contract it's got a shitty back end with a shitty front end or whatever it's going to be, you interact with it, but nothing happened to make you think that you've been screwed. Can you go and revoke the allowance? I think this is what he's getting at. Yes, you can. Yes, you can go revoke the allowance if you can catch it in time. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that you aren't already sharing your seed words with that person, especially if you are not using a hardware wallet. So what I recommend to everyone is pucker your butthole up nice and tight and prepare a hardware wallet, fresh one with 24-word seed phrase and a passphrase. And the minute that we get our beautiful airdrops, as we say, caveat, should we receive them, then position them off to the new hardware wallet address as soon as you get them, and then take a nice 48-hour nap like I'm going to.
Okay.
So yes, you can revoke, and you can go search on Revoke Cash, or you can look on Etherscan, which is even more responsible, and you can find out what allowances have been granted, and you can actually revoke them through both of those interfaces. I recommend Etherscan, but
it costs you some gwei. Just saying.
Who freaking cares?
Yeah.
If you have an unlimited thing there, you want to get it off.
Hexicans is extra mean to me today.
She called you pedo.
What the heck? What the heck? like three times already.
You know what your name is in Klingon, Peter?
Peta.
Yeah.
I can live with that, to be honest.
No, you can't.
So we got Kinsley Chullington here. Welcome to the show.
How do I back up my MM with my Ledger Nano S? Well, guess what, Kinsley Chullington? Go to YouTube and type in YouTube. Go to YouTube and do a search, and the search is for Magic Carpet Ride 369 Ledger. All one word is fine. Magic Carpet Ride 369 Ledger. And you'll find my and Hextrovert Ty's video on a migration to a ledger from your MetaMask wallet. Please take a look at it and get back in the chat and tell me that you found it. Do it right now. I don't have time to wait because I'm old. Go.
Awesome.
Nice.
And Ovidian Hex is my guy. The banana split crypto strategy. You know what I did this morning? I went into my vault and discovered that I still have 3 unused Virgin wrapped up Nano Ledger S's.
Why would you ever have those?
I bought, like, there was a Black Friday deal, I think.
Well, congratulations to you that they're seasoned.
And I went in hard. I went all in on ledger.fr.
Nice. But now you can silo. You can silo your goodies into little bags of whatever. And in those ledgers, please use passphrases. And you can have multiple passphrases in multiple wallets that are hidden in each of those ledger devices. Keep one of them in the package anyway for a spare, because you got lots of them.
I did, yeah. But I set them up. I did the seed words and all that shit. So when should we really go live? In 2 days?
Passphrase too, yes. I didn't hear passphrase.
I think yes, passphrase. I didn't. I don't think that I'm compromised, but I still want to move, because back in the days, of course, I was not that, that hot on the security as I'm today. So of course, I did everything from one address, like the Sachs and the Hex and everything. So I want to.
You were a crazy little papa, and you raw dogged all the ladies in the village, and now you're worried about the herpes. It's okay.
I'm worried about the herpes and this here.
Ouch!
Oops.
And
so I don't want this to happen.
Papa, Papa, how long is the lifespan of a Trezor and Ledger?
That's a great question. With solid state technology, especially if it's in like a little casing like that, and you keep it maybe in something else to protect it that's like airtight and temperature controlled or whatever what have you. The proximity to salt water also would also affect your solid state decay because it will oxidize the connections on the chipset. But I would give it, average lifespan of something that doesn't have a battery on board, 5 to 7 years.
Because I keep my Trezors with a
desiccant
gel ball.
That's a bag of marijuana. That's a bag of marijuana. Congratulations, Peter.
Don't swallow it.
It's desiccant. Yes, I understand.
Silica gel. Yeah.
Silica gel, also called desiccant. You put that in the box, in the shoebox that you're putting with your beautiful Trezors and ledgers into. Good. Okay.
Wait,
that
I
will help.
What? I'm sorry.
No, please.
No, I had a question. I was talking to someone. He has a ledger, and he's missing the first two words, but he still has the ledger, but it doesn't turn on. Is that it's game over?
Okay, hold on. It doesn't turn on, and he is missing the first two words. Can you explain those? These are two problems.
The paper rip.
Start guessing, I guess.
Paper rip. So here's another argument as to why you should keep it on a not only in paper, but you should consider something that's fire and flood resistance. Yeah. In this community now, what is it? Das Baum on Wake Up Hex show is actually printing out. He's 3D printing out these little jigs that makes it easy to use these letter punches to stamp into fender washers, and then stack them up, put them together with a bolt and nut, and then have those so you don't ever lose your first word. Now, your friend lost his first word because the paper ripped, or
first two
words.
2 words.
That's a little bit more difficult. Now, what I would urge him to do is, number one, think very hard and try to figure out from the BIP 39 compliant word list which words look at least familiar to him. And if not that, then go to go and get under hypnosis and starting to guess is 2048 to the order of 2, which is a lot of fucking guesses. And if each one takes that much time, he's gonna miss the next bull run. They're trying to figure out what these are. But I think that by looking at the BIP 39 compliant word list very, very hard with a highlighter and trying to say this one strikes me as familiar, then you can kind of narrow it down.
At least the first maybe can remember.
Yeah. If it was the last word, it would have been probably easier to surmise, because there's an actual mathematical equation that Hex Hangout determined in chat 2 days ago. He said to somebody that had the same problem, but it was a 24th word, which is the checksum word, right? That one can actually be derived down to 2 possibilities if you know how checksum works, and if you can see the code and you can actually whittle it down. It's much easier within your lifetime. At least you can do it. In this case, though, do the math. What is 2048 to the order of 2, to the power of 2? It's a big number, right? It's a big number. So, you can just tell him to try to jog his memory by seeing the word list, print out the word list, and you can get that on GitHub. Just type in BIP 39 list.
But 4 million guesses. That's fine.
Yeah, but the actual ledger, it's not salvageable. The physical.
Oh, yeah. So there's the other question: is what kind of ledger was it? Was it the Nano X, the Nano S, the Nano S Plus? Do you know what model it was?
I think it was that.
The S. Okay, the S will. Every one of them is going to fail eventually, but the S has usually problems with buttons or the screen goes out.
Yeah, the screen went out.
Screen went out. Okay, if the screen went out, then does he have an additional ledger Nano S?
Possibly, I don't know.
Possibly. So the crux of the problem is he doesn't have his backup well backed up, and the screen just failed on his actual device on which his intact seed resides.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a nightmare, though.
What I would do.
The screen.
No, shut up, you. The thing that I would suggest is I would get another Nano S on another PC, power it up so the screen does display, put in the failed one into another PC, the one that you use for crypto, and use the one on the left as a surrogate just to tell what buttons you're pushing for what menu items. The problem is, though, the pin changes every time, so it's impossible to get the pin going on unless for some reason you can log in through Ledger Live, but I believe that unlocking the unit is impossible unless you can actually see the pin. So you are fucked. I'm sorry.
But he can't type in the pin. If he remembers the pin, he can't use the other.
You may be able to, but I think that Ledger on a recent update just made it so those pins are selected in a scrambled way. Am I right, DJ Cryptomatic?
Yes. And if you can't see where you're at with the number, that's like
it starts at a random time. So what I mean is,
as does the Trezor, but in this weird way.
But for this one, it for example, you power it up, and the first number that comes up, it could be the number 8. Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. And then you kind of like click the left and right button to make sure that it goes to the right letter or number, and then you go on.
Yeah.
But in this case, it randomizes what number comes up, and you don't know where you're fucking starting.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I'm saying luck of the draw, but you may be lucky and it actually comes up with the thing. But the next one also is randomized, and so on and so on and so on, making the pin almost impossible to type in if you don't have the screen. So thank you, French people.
All right.
What? No.
Has a good suggestion here.
No, please don't do that.
No, don't do that. But it kind of shows, the seed words are supposed to be your backup for these kind of situations. So when you actually have hardware,
that's everything.
I bricked one of my ledgers during an update, and it would only load half the firmware, and then the whole thing was stuck. But I then was able to recover it with the seed words on the same actual machine. So this can also happen. That's kind of why it's so important to really watch those 24 words, have a strategy where you put them, that they can't be affected by fire, water, cats, children, whatever there is in a household. It should be in a fireproof safe or something.
It should be on a fire and flood resistant medium, and it should be tucked away somewhere where you don't put it on let's say the basement of your home, because as we know, we've learned over the years a little bit about metallurgy and a little bit about firefighting. We've had these specialists in and out of our chat. We've absorbed this type of knowledge into our hive mind. So I will tell you now, don't put it in your lowest place in your several story home, not in your basement, because that's where everything in a fire collects and becomes molten and gets very hot for a short amount of time, and then everything is liquefied. So don't do that, but put it, I recommend below the fire line on the first floor. Behind your drywall is a good place to do it. You don't have to throw it into a safe if you have a place that's tucked away out of view. The less likely, the more obvious these two things are balanced, so that intruders will not think to look there, right? Nobody goes and drains your toilet tank and finds something in the bottom and says, "Eureka, I found his seed phrase," especially if that was your decoy, just so that they would get their hands wet in piss water. No, they don't do that. But I would tell you though, to back it up on something that doesn't freaking tear or burn or stain or go up in smoke.
That's right. Papa B, I think we skipped your prediction for when mainnet. What do you think? Now that you had another half an hour to think about it.
You know what? Hextrovert Ty has converted me to thinking that mid-May would be a beautiful time to have it come out. This license thing, yes or no, even if it was a thing, and even if they were looking to get V3, Uniswap V3 incorporated into the design and test it all, I think it would still require some public testnet time to take off. And I think that mid-May makes sense. But I would love it if it was now, but I think mid-May.
Awesome. So we are like the conservative but realistic camp here. We all say somewhere between 1 and 2 months ish. Wow.
What's happening in the freaking chat?
Chat's going crazy right now.
East penguins, wheat seals.
Midish maybe.
Midish maybe, yes.
No, they're thinking of
what are they talking about?
They're thinking of little animals that could eat.
Do they follow the show like
paperwork?
Goddamn, people.
Did Peter weigh in with his guess?
Yes.
Yes. He also
what was that? He says that
we all say
Midish May would be beautiful.
There we go. Midish May. Congratulations, everyone.
Yes. Well done. Welcome to the show, to the discourse. So FuruFinance,
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's tomorrow.
How stupid are we looking if it's live next week? Well, I got my ledgers prepared.
Hey, we're here to look stupid, DJ Cryptomatic. Please don't forget that.
That's true.
Well, who looks stupid?
We even have somebody looking at us on Twitch. That's amazing.
That really is. I haven't seen a Twitch icon in years since the bear market.
Indeed.
What the hex is you guys talking about?
Love it.
I tell you what.
I'm going up and to the right.
Hexicate, one more reminder about the Euro meetup in Budapest. Hexicate is one of the main organizers. Up and to the right. Get your tickets. Rumor has it that on this pirate ship boat cruise that we're going to do, there might be a DJ Cryptomatic. I'm doing a live, like a topless DJ performance.
A topless performance?
Shirtless, which is usually only for my OnlyFans.
No cameras, right?
What?
No cameras. I bring it out for the Danube River Cruise. So
was this fun and games like 20 years ago for you? Because nowadays,
you don't want to see my chicken breast.
Even Fat Boy Slim
now it's fun and games for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Midlife crisis.
At least a little. I would think a 3-piece suit would be fine.
Will be just fine. Speaking of 3-piece suits, FuruFinance, what is the future with your channel? So everybody, we need you to follow you on your YouTube. The link is down below in the description. On Twitter. Let's get his channel to 5,000 subs on YouTube. He's really putting in the work, streaming almost every day, cutting videos. So it's really a lot of effort that he makes into his channel, and it's all hex centered, hex pulse, chain pulse, hex focused. So we really appreciate your work there from a community perspective. And you can book these one-on-ones, like if you want to really have a personal. Is that like an OnlyFans?
It's my OnlyFans. No, the Patreon, I do the twerking.
Wow.
Okay.
I love those tokens.
Hexicans is booking one right now.
Yes.
No, what is the future with your channel? Are you saying you are going for a job in crypto, like Nerd Girl is doing, or we have Corey Costa, something like that? Or are you really trying to keep it with something that is centered around the Richard Hardy?
No, I'm a full-time Hex employee.
Full-time Hexican, yes.
Yeah, full-time Hexican, not getting paid by anyone. But
yes, self-paying Hex employee, because there's no company here. SEC
self-paying. The T-shares pay me. That's the only thing. The T-shares pay me. Yeah, so I managed to make my parents aren't going as bad. It's still not good, but I managed to make some money. So I do the one-on-ones. A lot of people, they need help setting up their hardware wallet with MetaMask, or they want some they want to know something, like especially switching to the V3. That really helped my thing a lot. And so I do that. I have Patreon, so I do courses all on starting from Bitcoin and working all the way up till we just did a Pulse Chain one, Pulse Chain and Pulse X. And I'm thinking I might actually just release it to YouTube, in celebration for I never said this yet, but I was thinking like maybe in celebration of the V3 launch and anticipation for the mainnet, I think I'm just going to release it. It's a 2-hour course. Just really, I try to make it like a one-stop shop, breaking down Pulse Chain and Pulse X. So I have all those on the Patreon. Good, very good, especially for people that are new to crypto. It just builds one on the other. So that's how I've been getting by and stuff like that. And obviously, hopefully, I'll be able to make enough money to please my parents, irrespective of my personal business, because the Hex price will be doing so well, right?
Please give generously. I need to please my parents.
Well, we've had this before. Freddie Quotes bought his mom a Jeep and stuff. So there will be, if the prices are recovering, which actually it's looking like it. I mean, this is almost back on track. I mean, not in the original channel that we once had, but things happen. But this is looking very positive, and these capitulation wigs have been bought up, I would say. So if nothing dramatic happens with the dev work on Pulse Chain, I think we're back on track. Wouldn't you guys agree?
As long as the banks stay intact.
Yeah.
Provided not every bank shuts down.
Well, I heard they're starting money printing again, which also
yes, please.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of this. We're a 1-hour show, and it's a bedtime.
Right, and we're
gentlemen,
on our way out. So thank you very much for coming on the show, FuruFinance. Everybody follow his channel, follow his Twitter. Links are down below in the description. And you never know, maybe next week when we're episode 13, maybe we're live already. Let's go. Outro.